What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the American Express 2023 betting pick show. Outright bets, top 20s, how to attack the betting board. And listen, this event's been long shot season historically, okay? Now, I know the field is better this year, but this has been a great event to hit a bomb like we hit last year. Hudson Swafford, 250 to 1 winner last year. Right home about that, okay? It's the American Express. It's the first event of the California Swing. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry. We are the Tour Junkies talking betting the AmEx, Pat. But we got to start the show with a little Sony Open recap because our boy,
Mhm.
Kim, took down the Sony, taking down Hayden Buckley. And yours truly bet him at plus 850 on Saturday. Put it out there on Twitter, put it in the Nut Hut. Bunch of people
Mhm.
tailed it.
Yeah.
Bunch of people praising me, for the bet, and you're pissed about it. You're being a powtopotamus about it.
I am not pissed. I'm happy. I'm all about Team TJ.
Do not lie. Don't do one thing here and then do another
No, no,
thing.
no, 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 no. And let me
Don't
finish
make
my
me screen share
conversation. I'm
don't
not
make me
finished.
share text messages.
I'm not finished.
Okay, your text messages do not indicate that you're
I
happy
am
in Team TJ.
I am Team TJ. But you can't get on here and start getting on the horse, galloping around, going on your victory lap parade, talking about how you're all over Siwoo Kim, when on the show, this very show, maybe not this very show, the betting show, but on the DFS show, one of our shows, we got a lot of them. You said you were not feeling Siwoo.
I know.
And then all the golf is played till Saturday night. And you're tipsy. I knew it. You were tipsy because I went to bed early. I was getting texts from you at like 11:30 that night.
I know, and I was not tipsy. What happened is on Saturday,
What
I took
happened?
a nap. I took a nap on Saturday, and so I couldn't sleep. So I was doing stuff. I was not tipsy. But dude,
Either way, and then you say, "Okay, I'm going to bet on Siwoo." How many shots back was he on Saturday? He was 2 shots back. Now, here's where I'll give you some credit. Plus 850 on a Siwoo Kim, 2 shots back is a good number that you need to jump on. So you did a very smart thing. But you also did something that I think a lot of people should do if they've listened to us over the years. Jump on Siwoo at plus 850 on a Saturday night, which is what you did, and you won it, and you got the win. But let's not all like kiss our brains and stuff like you talk about kissing your brains, kissing your nose, kissing your heads.
You're so bitter. You're not being a team player at all, and you've been giving me crap all week. You gave me crap immediately after the victory, and then you gave me crap again today on 3 separate text threads, maybe 4, at least 3 separate text.
I just thought you were giving yourself too much credit.
Pat, how many live bets have you seen me place in the last year?
Yeah, but this is Siwoo.
How many live bets?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. Probably 100 at least.
Bull. That is bull. Don't lie. You could count
100
them on one hand. I don't live bet. I bet outrights. I let it ride. I don't live bet.
Okay, but let's talk about why you didn't have faith enough in Siwoo to begin with.
It wasn't about that. It was a feeling. You talk about this all the time. You're like, oh my, DB and your stats and
Okay, fine.
So
you should have had conviction from the start, and then you can't say. Here's what you should say. Here's what humble DB needs to say.
It's not.
Here's what happens when you're humble, DB. Let me go ahead.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Please.
This is what happens.
Educate me on this.
This is what happens. Hey, okay, come on the show. Hey, listen, guys. This is the Tour Junkies show with Pat and DB, and here's what happened. I had said earlier in the week that I wasn't feeling Siwoo Kim, but then on Saturday night, I felt like it was a good time to bet him at plus 850, and I hit him. I hit him, and I'm so glad that anybody may have followed and I did all these things and you followed me and you made some money. But I do realize that I had some faults earlier in the week, and I just want you to know that I'm happy that those faults were rectified and we won some money.
That's
And but I'm not going to pat myself on the back. I'm not going to kiss my brain. I'm not going to act like I'm the smartest person alive. I'm just going to tell you. But that's what happened, and I'm glad we had a good week, and I appreciate you all listening. Please leave a review and subscribe. That's, that's like,
I admitted all of those things. Like I admitted, I was not on him. I'm not sitting here telling you that I wasn't. I just had a feeling on Monday night, and the feeling was I didn't want to bet on Sungjae. I didn't want to or Siwoo. I didn't want to play Siwoo. It is what it is. I didn't play Siwoo. I didn't play him in DraftKings. Wish I would have got that wrong. Wish I would have bet him outright on the DB's Big Balls betting card. I didn't get it. But you have given me no credit. You've given me none until this show, but you talk so much crap on text threads. You've given
I
me,
gave you credit on this show. I just gave it to you.
and you're like, oh, he's only 2 shots back. Well, it's a golf tournament where like 10 different guys led at one point on like Saturday, and anybody comes from behind on that stuff.
Okay, you know what? Let's move to that. Let's get off of this. You bring up a good point. That's part of golf betting that I think people don't look at sometimes is what you did on Saturday night. Live betting on a Saturday night with a guy that's 1 or 2 shots. When you get 1 or 2 shots back, if you feel like you've got good value, you've got a good aggressive player like a Siwoo Kim, I think you got to learn to pounce on things like that. I'll give you credit for, did that, but then also like alerted people to that. You got to pounce on those kind of things because I think that happens a lot more in golf than you're going to see in any other sport. Now, I had a bet, I think earlier in the fall, the Steelers were back in the NFL. They were like down and then they came back and won. I hit them live bet. You know what? I may have gotten like plus 120, plus 150, not plus 850. So it makes a lot of sense when you're looking at live betting golf. Like, I don't think you look at it on a Friday because I think it's just too difficult. But a Saturday night, if you're looking at these odds and you see somebody 1 or 2
That's
shots
true.
back, like a Siwoo Kim, you gotta pounce on that. You gotta try that.
Mitigate your
I
loss.
don't like it in majors though. I really don't like it in majors. I think it's harder in majors to do those. But an event like the Sony Open, an event like this week, I think you can live bet a
Yeah.
lot of guys. Now, don't go crazy. Don't go
Uh,
bet like 5 guys live. Like, if you're going to do it, peg 1 or 2 that you really like, and that's it.
well, I think it kind of to me it wasn't just that it was Siwoo, but it was kind of a few other factors, and I didn't write it up in Twitter. I just said if I were I'm live adding Siwoo at plus 850, but in Discord, this is what I said. I'm reading it. If I were live adding anyone in round 4, it's Siwoo at plus 850. He's 3 shots back, so maybe it was 3. He's 3rd in the field in strokes gained tee to green, ahead of everyone above him on the leaderboard, and he's about 70th in putting. If he can get the putter even close to warm, he's a killer and can close. Only one guy ahead of him on the board has ever won a PGA Tour event, and the rest are trying to get it done for the first time. So it was a combination of things, right? It was a combination that the ball striking had been good, the putting had been lackluster. The guys in front of him, he was hitting it better than the guys in front of him had the pressure of trying to close an event. He'd done it for I think 3 other times, and so it was a combo of things. But I think you do raise a good point, and we don't really live bet a lot at all. But maybe it's not worth chasing on a Friday, but on a Saturday, if something at 4 to 1 or 5 to 1 or anywhere around there can help you up, maybe up to 10 to 1, can maybe help you mitigate some losses. I don't think you go chasing a big hit, but helping you mitigate some losses, it could happen, and it just worked out for me. But and for us, because we kind of bet together, homie. So I basically helped us break even for the first 2 weeks of the season, 2023. Can I piss you off some more, Pat? I want to piss you off some more.
No. I mean, when are we going to start talking about actual bets?
We'll get into
It's
it.
getting late.
We'll get into it. We'll move it quickly. Last week you did a great rant, and I listen. I love the rant. You talked about Colin Morikawa and chunking away his shot at winning the Century, because he stuck the leading edge in the ground, and you just went on this epic pat bump and run rant. And then I don't think it's a coincidence that one of the biggest golf accounts on Instagram posted this video that I'm about to play. Posted this video like days after your rant, and I think it might have been a shot at you. They didn't tag you, they didn't say anything about it, but it could have been a shot at you. Tell me what you think about this fella.
I can step up here. I can do that. That's fine. Does that work? Kinda. Is it sexy? No. Does that work? Yeah. Is it sexy? Yeah. I mean, if you don't believe me, look. You can just feel it. You can feel it through the phone.
What do you think, Pat?
Maybe 10% of people can actually pull that shot off. I can pull that shot off, actually. I can pull it off.
Okay. Okay. Now I know you're hammered. I've never seen you hit one like that. That was
I swear to God, you come next time, mark this down. Mark this down. You go ask me to pull off a flop shot like that, and I will do it for you. I used to do it all the time when I was a junior golfer playing around. I could do that shot easily, but it's not the safe shot to play. I will sit there and have a flop shot contest with you, and I guarantee you I will beat you at it.
okay. Well, this wasn't about me. This guy was saying obviously.
I'm just saying you're like this little chuckle. I bet you I could pull off a flop shot better than you. No,
Okay.
I don't want to say better than you because I'm not trying to make this a competition. What I'm saying is I can do that shot, but that's not the smart shot to play. It's stupid.
No, I just think the guy was taking a shot at you. All right, let's get into this. Shall we get
Okay,
into the top of the board?
yeah.
We're
How
12 minutes
long?
in. Top of the betting board for the Amex. Now, there's some trends that we should know. And I think a lot of these we've posted in the Nut Hut. I'll share a couple of them just for kicks and giggles, but 10 of the last 13 winners have been at 50 or 60, 55 to 1 or longer. 13 of the last 15 have played in an American Express event before at PGA West. 12 of the last 15 have played in at least two. And 12 of the last 15 have played in the Sony Open, the start before the Amex. So you can see the trends. They got to have experience at Amex. It helps to have played the Sony the week before. At least two loops around the Amex are even better. And this can be long shot season. So, John Rahm's won this event. That was a short number, but you had some big ones with Hudson, Adam Long, Andrew Landry. You've had a bunch of bomb winners. And despite the short field or the really strong top end of this field, I do think we could target some long shots because of the variance, because of the putting contest that John Rahm called it last year. You've got, the worst score since they've moved to these three courses has been 22 under for the winner. So we're probably looking, and the weather looks like absolutely nothing. So we're probably looking at another 23 to 25 under winning this thing. And when you get that, there's going to be variance. There's going to be putts that drop for some guys and putts that don't. So I think, we can spend a little time up here at the top, but I think the middle and the back end of this board is where the people want to hear what we got to say. So at the top, I think if you're going to go short, which by the way, God dang it. I mean, the one time I bet the favorite, the one time in 8 years, I say I want the favorite and I want all of them, and I'm going to parlay him with the Bills money line to juice it up. It's Tom Kim, and he trunk slams miserably because he misses literally everything. That was the worst. I'm not doing that again. But if I were going to get up here, up top, I'm going to Patrick Cantlay at 11 to 1. Get him at 11 to 1 on DraftKings and PointsBet. I'd rather have him up top. Finau is tempting on FanDuel at 15 to 1. But for me, it's Cantlay at 11 to 1 on DK or MGM, and then or PointsBet. And then even though I just said he pissed me off, I'll take Tom Kim again at 20. He's like 25 to 1. Well, he was. God dang it. Did he already get shorter? Yes. No. Oh, no. Okay. He's at 25 to 1 on DK and MGM currently. And I'll take that. I'll take it. I believe that somehow the putter gets figured out. if I'm gonna bet him at 14-1 last week, I'll bet him at 25-1 and just hope that we don't have another awful putting week. But that would be where I would go. But more than likely, I'm not going to either one of them.
I got two people in here that I'm betting, and that's Finau at 15-1 and Willie Z at 20-1. That's it. That's all I got.
I like both of the players. I like
I
both.
don't really know what else to say. I mean, I feel like in this range, I'm just going to stick to those two guys, and I don't really want to go anywhere else. So that's all I got.
I'm tempted by Finau, as I said, but like, talk to me about like Finau at. Why would you choose Finau over Cantlay? Is it just the odd, just a little bit longer odds?
I think just getting a little bit longer odds than Cantlay. I mean, they both are. Cantlay definitely has a way better history here than Finau does. Finau's isn't bad, but I mean Cantlay's is stellar. I mean top tens every
Yeah.
time he's played here, pretty much, with the second place finish in 2021. And so, but I like a little bit better odds on Finau, and I like the way Finau played going into the end of last season, and where he is now.
Yeah.
And I wonder where Cantlay's at, like, mentally. Like, I just feel like there's a lot maybe going on with him, between whether it's live, whether it's, he doesn't have, he's kind of choosing to go without some sponsors right now. Finau just seems to have it all together. So I'm going to go with Finau over Cantlay there. But I can't blame you if you want to bet Cantlay, but I'll take the 15-1 for Finau.
You may have kind of like gotten me there a little bit more. Like I was already kind of there. Like I told you, I was tempted by Finau. You may have kind of talked me into just going to Finau. Okay. Everybody else, I'm just out on. You know who I'm really out on up here, and this may really come back and just absolutely wreck me. God, this could wreck me. This guy is super talented, and he is gonna win on the PGA Tour. I think it's gonna be soon. It's probably gonna. I think it could be Torrey. Can't wait to bet him at Torrey. Not crazy about betting him here, and it's Cam Young.
Yes, I'm not either. He could hurt. I feel like he could hurt a lot of people this week. I feel like he's the guy that people are going to forget about in this shorter range.
Why is he 22-1 and Tom Kim's 25-1? Or Sungjae's 21-1? Like what? I don't. He's not gotten it done. He's not closed the door. He's come very close, and he fought, man. And I mean, he did close the door at the Open. I mean, he eagled the 18th hole at the Open to make it interesting. Yeah. But I still, I mean, I guess it's off the Tom Kim miscut, maybe is why he's a little longer, but I just don't, I can't imagine actually putting real dollars on Cam Young at a shorter number than Tom, and basically the same number as Sungjae, given also their recent play outside of last week and their performance here. I don't know. I just don't, I'm out on Cam Young. The mid-range up to like the 75-1 spot is chock full of stuff. So I want to talk about that. Before we get into that, the show's presented to you by our friends at Front Nine Coffee. Go to front9coffee.com. Check it out. It's the best coffee if you love golf, if you love coffee, and if you want to support a small business based right here in Augusta, Georgia that just got started. They're trying to do big things in the coffee world for, especially golf fans. And they put a lot into Tour Junkies, and we appreciate them greatly. If you appreciate us and you like our content, you want to support us, one of the ways you can do that is by going to Front 9 Coffee. That's front9coffee.com, and ordering some coffee and using promo code TJ10 when you do it to get yourself 10% off anything you buy, the whole order there. You can use that code over and over again to let them know TJ sent you. We've got our own flavors in there. My blend, which is kind of a hazelnut blend. Pat's blend, which is kind of an espresso Milano, a little bit stronger. Good stuff, good coffee, good people, seriously, and it's fresh and it gets delivered straight to your door. Go to front9coffee.com, promo code TJ10 to get it done. Okay, the mid-range up to 75-1. Who we liking in here, Pat?
Well, I actually am a little condensed here, DB. I don't have a ton here, so you may be able to fill in the gaps. But I like Taylor Montgomery at 45-1. We talked about him a little bit on the DFS show. The guy can just putt. I mean, he's an amazing putter. John Rahm last year went on this huge rant about how this course sucks, or all the courses suck, and it's just a putting contest. And it's a pretty funny rant if you find it on Twitter. But
yes.
if you want a putting contest, Taylor Montgomery is the guy that you want. He's going to suck on approach, which he's done lately. It's been terrible, but maybe figure something out. I don't know, but I don't care. The dude can putt. I like him. Taylor Montgomery, 45-1. And then I like Cam Davis at 50-1. I'll go back to him. We talked about him a lot last week. Cam Davis is, finished T32 last week, which wasn't great, but he does have a good course history here. He finished third here the last time he played back in 2021, 2 top 30 finishes before that. And that's when he was kind of getting his feet wet on the PGA Tour. So Cam Davis here at 50-1, I like a lot and he's got win equity. He's won before.
Yeah. I like both those guys. I mean, I really like this range a ton. I like JT Poston again at 66-1 on PointsBet. JT's content just playing solid, getting the Century and the Sony under his belt, making plenty of birdies. I mean, I played him a lot on Prize Picks this past week. Did well with him making birdies. He's a good one for a pro-am too. He's patient, he's easygoing, he's laid back. Like that's kind of something to think about around here too, having to have these long hours with these amateurs. And you talk about a putting contest. I mean, JT's one of the best on tour. And we talked about this guy a little bit on the DFS show, but we somewhat disagreed. Sahith at 66 on MGM. I guess he's still at 66. I hope he's still at 66. I bet he's not. Let's see. He might have. Yeah, he's already dropped. He's
60 on DK now. That's the best.
By the way, it was crazy. I did the First Look betting show at 10:30 Monday mornings, every Monday morning, except for it's about to be a Nut Hut exclusive piece of content because it's been so good in the last year. But this morning, Pat, I get to Andrew Putnam. He was 60-1, and I was talking him up. In fact, and then somebody in the chat in the UK was like, "Dude, 2 hours ago I hit him at 90 in the UK, and now he couldn't get him any longer than 60." So I talk him up. And now listen, this is not because of me, but this just shows you how quick some of this stuff happens on a Monday morning. 4 minutes after I talk him up, he goes to 50 is the best number you could get. Now, I think he's actually since gone back up a little bit. He's back up. I think he's now at 55. But Monday mornings, like if the weather's, if the weather's not going to be much of a factor, fire on some of these guys that you really like and the community really likes, because they'll get bet down and you'll be pissed. You'll be kicking yourself. You missed the number. So hit that 66, is another example. But I like him. I trust the putter. I love his like prowess for the West Coast and the desert golf. It's what he's shown us so far. I like it. He can make birdies in bunches. Another great pro-am guy, I bet, in Sahith. So I'll go there. And I really do like Cage Lee a good bit still. 65-1 on FanDuel. I'm a buyer there. Making a bunch of birdies, played the Century, played the Sony, can get it done in a birdie contest as he's done at Byron Nelson twice with winning scores of like 26 under. So I'm buying Cage Lee. We haven't talked about Siwoo. Siwoo back to back.
I think Siwoo is he's like when you pull a nice glass of wine or a bottle and you're like, hey, this is fantastic. I didn't realize this bottle was going to be so good. And you just got to enjoy it and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back to the bottle later on, but like, you don't want to go back to back. So I feel like we need to just like enjoy the aromas, the wine that he is providing to us at the moment. And we just don't need to overdo it, and we just let it go. Does that make any sense whatsoever?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, my only thinking is Siwoo. I mean, Siwoo likes to get down. He likes to get down. He likes to party. Likes to have a good time. Had his wife there in Hawaii. But, I mean, he could party for a night or two and be fine. He's very familiar with the AmEx.
Yeah, he is.
Got a great record here. Former winner. I don't know. I mean, it kind of feels crazy to not look at him again. So, I mean, this is a really hot range for sure. Okay, let's keep moving. Long shots into the triple digits, up to like that 130 number. A few names in here that I like. I'm gonna give you a name I didn't talk about on the DraftKings show, Pat. And this is weird. But I'm like getting a little bit of a feeling. Maybe this is more of a DraftKings play, actually. I probably should have brought him up on DraftKings and I didn't. We'll see it. We'll see how it goes. And I've made fun of him before, but I can't stop looking at his name. He finished 6th here last year, which was his best finish by far. And he's never won on the PGA Tour, and we're all just waiting on him. We're all just waiting on him. And I ragged him just a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, that he's never even had a runner-up. God dang it, I'm talking myself right out of this. Maybe this is a top 20 bet. Do you know who it is yet?
I am.
This is a top. I'm changing them. I'm talking myself out of it. It's now a top 20. It's now a top 20. I don't have a lot in this range. I think I have one guy in here, maybe two, and then I'm going to go really big. So I like Will Gordon and David Lipsky, both at 100 to 1. Will Gordon's on DraftKings. Lipsky's on FanDuel. Gordon's really balling out. Like second time out here on the PGA Tour. Lost his card, got it back. Here he comes. He can probably open it up a little bit more here with driver off the tee than he could at Wiley. Playing well. So I like Gordon. Comfy, probably pretty comfy on these putting surfaces. So I'm there on Will Gordon. I'm there on David Lipsky. I mean, we all know I'm a documented David Lipsky believer. Multiple-time winner on the European Tour, Asian Tour, Korn Ferry Tour. I'm there on David Lipsky. I think he can get it done, continuing the good play, and keep on making some birdies. So I'll go with those two, and that's it.
All right, well, I got a couple in here. I like Davis Riley. He's at 100 to 1. Riley is a guy that we saw on tour a lot last year, contended at times. Last year here he was T59, so nothing great there. But Riley is a guy that definitely has a game to win a tournament on tour. He had a good fall, couple top 30 finishes there. So Davis Riley, I do like him at 100 to 1. I'm gonna be a sucker, and I'm gonna go with Ricky Fowler at 100 to 1. Who knows? I just don't know. I don't know,
dude. Ricky, I'm looking forward to seeing Ricky. Ricky would be the one that I would be monitoring for a live bet.
Can you imagine if he wins though, right out of the gates in 2023?
It'd be great for the PGA Tour. I'll tell you that.
It really would.
Unless then the week after he goes to live because he's got his major championship exemptions or something.
Yeah. But Ricky Fowler at 100 to 1. Put it on there. Throw it down there. That's it for me, really. This is a weird range. I got some bombs though. I know you.
Yeah, I do too. Who are your bombs?
All right, a few bombs here. I'll start with the shorter end of the bombs. Thomas Dietrich at 130 to 1. I think if you're going to get him at 130 to 1, you better jump on that now because he's literally like 80 to 1 on BetMGM. He's 95 to 1 on FanDuel, but you can still get him at 130 to 1, which is the bottom range of our bombs on DraftKings Sportsbook. So I do like Thomas Dietrich. I like Ben Taylor, who's at 170 to 1. Had a great week last week. We both liked him. Just a fantastic player. He's still in great form. And he continued the form he had in the fall into this year. I like that at 170 to 1. And then I don't know. Taylor Moore kind of interests me. The long shot at 300 to 1. So there you go.
No Taylor Moore for me. I don't think Ben Taylor maybe, but probably not. I think I'd rather have Ben Griffin at 200 to 1 on PointsBet. He continues to just do his thing. We talked a little bit about both those guys in the DFS show. I'm a buyer in Austin Eckroat at 300 to 1 on PointsBet. Eckroat played really good last week. He's a good player. I mean, great college career. This guy is a stud. Had him on the Tour Junkies podcast. You can go check that out on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. He's a stud, and he's getting geared up. So I think Eckroat's in play. And then another guy we had on the show, 450 to 1, Eric Van Rooyen on PointsBet. 450 to 1 for a guy who's PGA Tour winner, played well in majors. Like, he's just coming off of an injury, but he's played since the injury, and he's played okay. Like, it's not terrible. 450 to 1. I was just like, God. Now, as we segue into the top 20s, he's probably a much smarter top 20, top 40 bet. He's at 9 to 1 in the top 20 market. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and drop a comment. I'm interested to know your favorite young Instagram, TikTok, whatever golf instructor, younger, okay, that's a little unknown. I saw somebody in the chat the DFS show saying James O. James O is very well known. He's coaching PGA Tour players. He's a great instructor. I like him. But I'm talking about somebody under the radar. It could be the kid at your local club. Give him to me. Put that in the YouTube comments. Other top 20s, Pat. So I'm going to go back to my guy in the previous range that I almost said as an outright, then I talked myself out of. But now I'm in, but I am in on a top 20. And his name is Little David Link. No, it's not David Link. It's Denny
Little
McCarthy,
David Lingberth.
who screwed us royally. It's Denny McCarthy at plus 260. Little Denny. Why are you laughing? It's Denny
You hate
McCarthy.
Denny.
I know, but I don't know. I keep looking at him, and I keep the words of John Rahm and the putting contest keep ringing in my ears, and I'm just like, man, now everybody's kind of like soured or something, or they're just kind of meh on David Lingmerth or on Denny McCarthy. And so now I'm a little interested. Plus 260 for Denny.
You know why you said David Lingmerth? Because you're still on the David Lingmerth nursery rhyme.
I could kind of also get back on David Lingmerth just in general this week. Like,
I could too. But
maybe
you know,
it's-
Denny could have a nursery rhyme. Be like little Denny, little Denny, little Denny. He likes trains and police cars.
You're a terrible nursery rhyme writer. The popsicle one last week was way better. Okay, other top 20s. Dude, have you heard about this the amateur kid that's in the field, Caleb Surratt?
I know. I have not, but I'm not paying the top 20 on him.
He's 14 to 1. Okay. He's the number one ranked junior or number one ranked AM in the world, like by a mile. Plays at University of Tennessee, won the Sage Valley Invitational, but like his ranking he's head and shoulders above everyone else, like light years above everyone else. Kid's amazing. I was on his website. He's got a website. It's like kind of a slick website. I was on his site earlier looking at some of his accomplishments. 14 to 1 top 20. I mean, that would just be fun. That would just be fun to hit. Grayson Sigg plus 550 is a top 20 look for me, as well as Ben Griffin at 5 to 1. Fowler I had written down 3 to 1 top 20. I'd rather have him as a top 20 than an outright.
I don't mind it.
And then you're getting up into the top tier that we've already talked about. I mean, Poston, KH Lee, and I had Willie Z up top at plus. He was the first number at a plus number near the top of the board for a top 20 that I really felt good about. So Willie Z at plus 115 would be my other top 20.
All right, well then I'll start there because that was my favorite. Was Willie Z at plus 115. I had Brian Harmon, I think, at plus 140. You might be able to get him a little better. That was just on DK.
I like that. I mean, I'm not.
I was not getting anything,
but
at that point, I was only seeing DK. It was plus 140. Andrew Putnam is at plus 230. Davis Riley is at plus 300. And then I'll give you a little bit longer shot. Aaron Baddeley. I mentioned him on the DFS show at 6,600 or whatever he is. I don't think he bet him outright, but I love a top 20 for him at plus 700. I mean, he was top 10 last week. He had maybe one or two.
10?
Yeah, top 10 last week, maybe one or two top 10s in the fall. I know he was T6 a few weeks ago, or it like the Bermuda or one of those. So Bats has been playing well, and top 20 for him at plus 700. He can do it. He can do it on a week like this.
I like
that. Yeah.
I'll do it. Awesome. There's some outrights. There's some top 20s. There's some bombs in there. Obviously, DB's Big Balls betting card will drop on tourjunkies.com on Wednesday. Pat's, not that anyone really cares, betting card will drop on Twitter. Also, everything will be in the Nut Hut, my exclusive head-to-head plays, finish position plays, prize picks plays, Pat's prize picks plays. Me and Joe Idoni, tour picks. Me and him went 7-1 in head-to-head matchups last week, exclusively in the Nut Hut. You need to get in there and join. You can join in the description below. There's a link as well as in the podcast description. Let's have a great week at the AmEx. Maybe see we can repeat, huh? Let's see. Let's see if it could happen.
Back to back.
Be aware of the possible live tweet / live Discord post from DB. You could hit another winner.
I won't hate it this week.
You could hit another winner. All right, let's have a great week. Bend over your bookies. See ya.